Autism. Ever heard of it? Only 1 in 68 children are diagnosed with autism, and when they are, it can impact family. What impacts family more is when someone who has no idea what autism is decides to judge and stereotype a kid who has it. If people would take the time to learn and understand what autism is and how someone is affected by it, many of these stereotypes wouldn't occur and acceptance wouldn't be an issue. You know that saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, a lot of people can learn from this when it comes to hearing the word autism or just seeing an autistic kid. Autism is a lifelong developmental disability that affects the way a person communicates with and relates to another person. It also affects the way they make sense of the world around them. Many people don't know what autism is, so these people tend to judge and stereotype the people who have it. For example, when an autistic kid throws a temper tantrum in the store, or maybe just outside, the parents understand that the cause of the tantrum is because the surroundings around their child are too frightening to them. But others see it as a spoiled brat not getting his or her way. Many people don't understand how hard it is for the parents to carry their child into the store, let alone drag them out. They don't understand how a casual trip to the store can cause terror in an autistic child. Another stereotype that people use to judge and criticize people with autism is that when they hear the word autism, they think of some type of illness. Like, come on, if anything, ignorance is a disease, because anyone who thinks that autism is some type of illness is obviously brainless. Autism is a disability, not a common cold. If you don't know what something is, how are you going to be able to accept it? If people were more open to learning, there would be more of a chance of acceptance. For example, someone who has taken the time to learn and understand what autism is and how someone is affected by it can understand and accept the fact that people with autism are just the same as everyone else. And it's true. After researching plenty of times on the types of autisms, I myself have come to the understanding that some types of autisms, like nonverbal or Asperger's syndrome, just affects one part of a child and still allows them to act like everyone else. So if I could take the time to learn and understand, learn about a disability and accept it with just a click of a button, why can't anyone else? People used to believe that just because a child had autism, they weren't going to be able to live a normal life. People used to believe that just because they had this disability, they were destined to be isolated and kept to themselves. But that is not true. Autistic couple Nico and Latoya have been sure to prove that. Nico and Latoya are an autistic couple that met each other online and have fallen in love for 2 years. 2 years. This just proves that the stereotypes on autism that are still believed today are just that, stereotypes. If you already know what autism is, help spread awareness. Educate others that we are all unique in our own way, that we all want and are need to be treated with respect and dignity. By doing this, you and your family and friends can get involved with the learning of autism and maybe come to accept the people who have it. What I'm fighting for is not only for the acceptance for all the people in the world that have autism, but also for my little brother, Roman. Roman is a 3-year-old that loves dinosaurs. He is what we call nonverbal. This means that he cannot communicate with using words. Whenever I or my parents tell someone that Roman has autism, their first expression is, "Oh no, why is that? Autism is not a disease. Autistic people are not dying. Autistic people need empathy, not sympathy. They can do all the things that you and I do, just differently." Families still have hopes and dreams for their children. They still hope that one day they'll be able to experience college, relationships, and independence. But if you can only remember one thing from the speech, the most important thing is that we all want our siblings, our children, or just our relatives to be happy. So people took the time to learn about autism and understand it instead of creating stereotypes and judging from afar. Many autistic people wouldn't feel different, and maybe more people would be open to acceptance. Thank you.